Hello, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. And this week on the old Magic Roundabout, we've got a Dinky Toys Guy flatbed. This one in the green and red. That's what it says in the book, light green and red. Well, the back half looks more maroon. But anyway, as you watch this go around, I'd just like to welcome any new friends of the channel. Welcome aboard, thanks very much. And welcome back all the old friends of the channel. There again, thanks very much for hanging around, watching the videos and commenting. It's much appreciated. Right, that being said, let's get this off the Magic, get it on the bench, and have a good look at it. This is it then. This is it. Here you go. Dinky Toys Guy, made in England, Meccano Limited. Now this pin, flat pin, because sometimes they have a slot in it with a screw through. This was a flat pin and it obviously snapped off at the bottom, clean off. So I had to drill that, put a little pilot hole in there and then tap it through with a punch to get that out. This is just a small single rivet with a divot in it, so that wasn't a problem. Front's okay. It looks a little bit cockeyed, not sure. Maybe a little tap over that way a bit, because his pillar looks like it's coming in a bit if you look. So maybe a tap on the old head, on the side of the head there. Tap on the side of the head, lad. Or maybe, yeah, maybe a tap just there. It's just a little bit bent in there. We'll have a look in a minute anyway. I'll do it when the paint's off it. Now the tyres. Now it's not a super toy because it hasn't got a super toy written on it. Now, normally super toys are 20mm tyres. As you can see, they do look a bit big. These are, I think I'm just measuring. They're about 17. These. All right, that one's like expanded foam, isn't it? That one. Yeah. So I would think I've got to check on this. When I stripped it all down and I go back down the house, I get the book out and check. But I think these were 17mm on here. On the either smooth or treaded, I'm not sure. Depends on what year it is. I'll have to check on the year. So we'll work it. I've got 17mm treaded and I've got 17mm smooth. So we'll have a look. All right. Okay, so it's red and green. In the book it says light green and red. So that's what we're going to go with. Right, the usual format with these sort of things. I drilled that out because that's where the spare wheel sits. And I've got a spare mechanism that goes in there, so I've got a screw to replace that in there. You'll see me do that in a minute anyway. So I've drilled that through, says he. Yeah, I've drilled that through, and then it comes out the usual thing, two pegs goes in the back of there. You can check, you see that's the green. It's like a forest green or signal green, something like that. We'll find a green similar if I haven't got exactly the same as that. Right, the tow hook is broken, so we can replace that. The cab just comes off and it hooks in the front bumper there. Standard as a Foddens and a lot of these like this. So that's that. Yeah, and then we got to get grind that end off, draw the axle out so we can clean the wheels and clean the base. Okay, these are quite thick axles on there. So that's that. We've got to do the same with the back here. This tyre, as you can see, you know, I don't think we're using that again, do you? All right. So just got to drill that out, flatten that off, and I'll put a new pin in there. Usually they're underneath, so this is on top. Yeah, I'll sort that out. So that's that, and that's that really. There's nothing else. There's the number 512. Okay, and that's the pin. Yeah, it was obviously longer than this. It had must have had a screw on the end of there, I think. Like a screw thread to put a bolt on, a nut on, sorry. Well, I'll keep that because that will come in handy. You never know. Never thrown nothing away. Right, so there's the original red of sorts underneath. So that's the original red and that's the original green. I'll check the colour match before I strip the paint off. Like I say, it won't be exact, but it'll be near enough. Alrighty, paint stripping time. Out the caustic, all wire brushed down and wire cleaned up. Yep, so it's pretty good, not too bad. Not too bad, just going to get rid of that little bit there. Thought I'd got that bit. Yep. Yeah, this was all right. Not a real problem with that. I'm not going to be able to. That's really thin in there, so I'm not really be able to replace that. So I'm going to glue that back on there. Yep. Clean the back up a little bit there. This one's okay. I ran a file around the edge where it got battered around this bottom edge here, around there. Best I could get it reasonably straight. Yeah, so we're good to go. And that's the base plate. Just wants a bit of straightening here. Gonna hit that with the old hammer, straighten that. That won't take long to do that. Just got the old sash weight. Look at that beauty old sash weight. And then just give it the old once over. There you go, job done. Don't take long. Yeah, that's okay there. That's okay there. Right, so now methylated spirits and get some primer and colour on it. There you go. Here we are then, out the paint shop. I've gone with this red, quite nice. Medium red. And I've gone with the Highland green again because the green, like the signal green or the leaf green, was too green, if you know what I mean. This is more, it's a little bit lighter than the original, but not, the leaf green and the forest green and everything else would have been too dark. So this is the green I'm used, so it's quite nice. And that back on there. Okay, and I've got the red hubs. Alrighty, so now that's the base paint. Got the axles to clean up and stuff like that. And I'm going to put some details on. Let's have a look. Here we go. Yeah, I'm going to do all that chrome. The little tiny bits of headlights in there. And stuff like this. I don't know if I'll be able to get that guy. I'll have a look and see what I can do with it. Alrighty. Okay, so I'll get the paint and the brushes out. A quick check on Google Images and then we're away. Here we go then. I've done a little bit. I needed to get in close. So I've done the emblem at the top. Put the lights in. So now, if I can try and move his camera a little bit, so I'm working up in the air. We're going to do the bumper. And, well, we'll do the grill. We'll do the grill. But this was all silver. Like I say, I'll use it because I'm doing it over lacquer. So we need to do it this way. Probably give it a couple of coats. There we go. Using a broad brush, I think it's a number 2, this one, for this bit of the work. There we go, there we go, lovely jubbly. there isn't many colour pictures of this Guy Warrior 8-ton. A few black and white pictures, but there isn't many of these. So I've had to sort of guess a bit of this. I need to put my brushes in some brush restorer. It's they're getting a bit clogged. They're getting a bit clogged up. Well, so much for a summer. It's not very nice here today. It's not freezing cold, but it's still a chill in the air. Not any sun for a few days. I've got the shed door open. It's a bit cold round the old kneecaps. There you go. Gently does it. Yeah, it's coming on. I'll just do the bumper, and then I'm going to swap to a smaller brush to do the outline of the grill when this is dried off a bit. Just a little bit. Well, we've got 3 minutes, and we're doing well today. Alright, I'm going to switch to a finer brush to do just the outside of that grill and the tail end to that across the middle and the top edge of the bumper. Alright, and then I'll get back to you when it's assembly time. That's it then. Let's just take it off there a minute. Right, we're ready to assemble it all now. I've actually painted over the axles on here. These are quite thick axles, as you can see. So, you know, they take a bit of painting over. Now, what I did with these, you can't do it with all of them, but what you can do with these thicker ones, if you've got room, and I mean, if you've got room at the end, you know, like that, if you've got room at the end, because some of these you do get room, like that. If you can see, I painted that over, look. What I did, because these are thicker axles, you can't do as much with thinner ones, is put your flat grinding disc on there and then just hold it with a pair of pliers like I did here. I'll just give you, I didn't demonstrate it because it was tricky. Hold it down like that with a pair of things and then just hold this dead flat and just apply a bit of pressure, just gently. You don't want too much because you don't want to remove too much metal of the axle. So get like that a few times, and that what it does, it creates a flat burr on it. And then I have my metal bar and I just go around and gently tap, aiming for the edges, yeah, not flat on the top but aim more for the edges. You know what I mean? So you're aiming down here at the edge. There. And carefully not get on your wheel. And just tap round. Like that. And you will get it, it will go. But you just got to be careful with it. Okay? So that's how I did that one. This was the easy one. The hardest one is this one at the back here. This one here. There again, you've got to make sure you've got plenty of room on the axle stub. Like that. Okay. As you can see. Got that pinned over. Just enough to hold it in place. As you can see, it's not going anywhere. There again, this one. I always hold mine on the edge of my metal plate there. Because this will stop it from hitting the plate, that piece there. So keep it on there like that. I do the same again with the grinder, flat on the top, and then just gently tap around. Be careful on this one though that you don't crack your mud guards. If you want to put a bit of cloth on there, I sometimes do when I first started doing this, put a bit of cloth to protect the paintwork. That's fine, but that's how I do these thicker axles, because you can see they are quite thick. So there you go. I will try on if I get an old cast, if I get an old Fodden casting, maybe I will show you demonstrate it. Right, anyway, enough of that. Let's get on and put this together. Fairly straightforward. Put your back in your slot, like so. Put your screw in the back. Okie dokie. And then obviously you've got your for your spare wheel. This screw's a little bit on the long side. That's going to be changed later because I had to remove, I took this one out of another model. So when I get some more of these shorter screws, I'll change it. I will change it. So I'm just trying to get that on the thread. The thread's a bit tricky on this one. So bear with me for a moment while I get this on here without cross threading the blooming thing. That should be it, yeah. So that's why it's going to be a bit longer. Simply because I want to use the screw again on something else. Because the original screw it was in, as you saw at the beginning, it was broken. And I hadn't got one of that length. So I've had to use this one, okay? And you whack your spare wheel over there. Sometimes he can be a bit flipping tight getting them on. But they gets on. There you go. And I always use an old tyre for that. I don't use new tyres for the spares. So that just leaves the front. Now I'm going to glue this because there's no space for a screw or a rivet, to be honest with you. Hook that under the front. There's a little bit it hooks under there. Like so. It's always best to dry fit this first, because sometimes if you've not cleared it properly or there's a problem there and you've painted it, this will chip the paint when you try and get it in. So you must dry fit it first. Okay, well, you say you must, it's up to you, I don't give a shit, but if you do it, that's what you got to do. Right, okay, a bit of super duper on here will do that. Hold that in place. Okay, and I'll do a Neil Wet Works, he calls it zip kicker. Okay, there you go. Got a number plate to put on the front. I need, where is it? Where's my knife? Put this little knife, it's a private plate, it's not registered. This is where it gets to the tell you to get the backing off some of these can be flipping pain. Here we go. Some of these can be tricky to get the backing off. Got it. Let's get that on there nicely. Go over a bit more. There you go. Done. So here we are, finished. All done, all dusted, away we go. Sorry for the language earlier, it just slipped out. Apologies for that. I don't normally swear on video. Right, okay. Let's get this on the magic then and see what we can do with it. This is what we started with. Old play worn Dinky Toys Guy flatbed. Yeah, it's a bit play worn, a bit knackered in places. So now have a look, see what we've done to it and see what you think. Have a look at this. Feast your eyes on this. Here we are then, all done and dusted. Dinky Toys Guy Warrior, 8 ton. Yeah, flatbed. Come out quite nice. Nice little build to do this one. No real major problems with it. We put a load on the back. We put an old Dinky Toys MG, I think, on the back here. Going to the breaker's yard, as it would have done back in the day this lorry was made. We weren't big into restoring then. So it's off to the breakers. Okay, yeah, nice colour. It's a bit lighter than the green of the original green, but this is the nearest. The rest of the greens were too dark. Yeah, quite nice this one. Well, thanks for watching. It's much appreciated. Look forward to your comments. Okay. So next week it will be the donations and purchases, or purchases and donations, whichever way you want to look at it. So what's left for me to be said is, have fun whatever you're doing, enjoy yourselves, stay safe, and we'll see you all again next week. So, bye for now. See you later. And we're coming around, we're going to give it a big cut, and